Hello everybody, welcome back to Hannah's Decodes. I'm Hannah, if you don't know or haven't seen any of my videos so far. I thought I'd talk about some really fascinating stuff that's been going on with me and my health for the past week, really. And I think in the last video I mentioned how I went to see the doctor and I hadn't seen the doctor for a long time. And I mentioned also I was feeling very tired. I actually have had an autoimmune disease, so I try not to own these things, sort of make it in the past. And I think I was having a flare-up, and so I went to the doctor just to sort of work out what it is and all that kind of stuff. And the condition I have is tricky to diagnose, and it sort of moves around different parts of your body. So anyway, so I was feeling very fatigued, and I actually had inflammation in my mouth, which is I haven't had it there before. So I went there and did the usual things. But anyway, since then I've been back home, and last Thursday night I was in bed and I've been very tired, and I was just sort of fed up, and I was trying to get to sleep, but I felt quite restless and I was really tired, and I didn't, it was I wanted to go to sleep, but there was this sort of exhausted restlessness in my body. So I was lying in bed and I said something. Well, I said, creator of all that is, my oversoul, my soul, my higher self, I would like to be healed. And I pointed out the specific area, and I think I said my condition, and in particular the inflammation in my mouth. And I was just lying there, and then I had my eyes closed. It was dark and it was nighttime, and these kind of shards of light came into my sort of inner vision, and they divided up into maybe three and sort of kept coming in and dividing up. And then they became sort of individual little light beings that had almost like knitting needle legs and things. And they were just sort of kind of working on my torso mainly. And it was fascinating. And I felt very relaxed. And I just sort of went into this relaxed state and just observed what was happening. And I eventually fell asleep. So this probably went on for 5 minutes or more of me observing, and I eventually fell asleep. And the next day I woke up at really early or 6:15 in the morning, and went for a very long walk on the beach and a swim, and felt amazing. And the inflammation in my mouth had gone down dramatically. I'll also say I've been doing lots of things to assist me physically as well. So I've been changing my diet, not eating bread, dairy, sugar, wheat, dairy, sugar, big things to avoid with autoimmune stuff. So I've been avoiding that very, very diligently. So that's obviously a help as well. So I felt terrific, and I thought, wow, it was kind of like when this happened, and I could feel my body relaxing and things shifting, and then I fell asleep and woke up. I thought, like, almost anything's possible. I felt we're in a time where so much is at our fingertips. So many of these kind of new techniques for healing and manifesting and all that kind of stuff. So I felt really quite excited. And then later on, a couple of days later, I did another healing. I have a funny kind of hip feeling, like it's a sore hip, and when I go to bed it gets even worse. So it's not sore all the time, but it sort of seems to come and go and be quite bad if I'm sitting in a chair that doesn't agree with my posture or something. So I asked for a healing in the same way for that. Actually, I asked for the healing and I just said, creator of all that is, heal me. And it didn't seem to work straight away. So I tried to recall what I'd said the first time, which was almost like a stepping stone of saying, creator of all that is, And then going down the next layer, my oversoul, my soul, my higher self, I would like you to help me. So I kind of thought, I wonder why it wasn't working, just asking the creator of all that is for a healing. And I got the feeling that because these higher entities of ourselves see us in this physical plane as being able to do these things, and that they just sort of almost sit back and watch, and you really need to say you want help or assistance. And for me, the sort of ladder of spiritual steps up to the creator of all that is, which is all an aspect of ourselves, seemed to, for me, to be quite necessary to achieve the healing. And I think, some people, and I think eventually we probably won't need that. We can just do it directly ourselves. But at the moment, I think we're almost in that transition time of needing tools and not needing tools. And I think for me, this is very comfortable because I feel like all of the aspects and energies I'm calling on for assistance are all part of me. So that makes me feel very comfortable and very much the navigator of my healing. So I thought that was really interesting, just the way you worded it. So I was talking about the other healing on my hip, and I did the same thing. So I called in the healing the way I did the first time in that stepping stone, and I used the word like, because I think like is, I don't think people really realize like is actually a really powerful word. It's an opening. It can open up doors when you say I like that, or I would like a car park. You're not saying I need, I want. It's a like. It's quite light and a light energy, but quite powerful and straightforward. So there's no kind of, can't be taken any other way. If you like something, you like it. So I use that also. I would like to be, I would like assistance or help to heal. So I think that's, for me, was an important word. So I think these are nice things to play around with. But anyway, I'll get on to the actual healing of my hip. So I saw a gentler kind of light come in, and it was in the sort of shape of like a spine, like seeing bones of a spine, but in light, and it went directly towards that area of my hip. And I definitely could feel things happening, and I felt a great sort of like a weight within my hip and the top of my leg. And then I kind of do these things and I fall asleep. I'm renowned for falling asleep through meditations and all these kind of things. So I was getting really sleepy, and I thought, well, it's kind of getting to the end of it. So I rolled onto the side of my sore hip, which wasn't feeling sore anymore. And it was like my hip and my leg were like metal. So it was so heavy. And then I just fell to sleep. And it has been 90% better. Like occasionally I feel a little twinge when I'm sitting in a particular chair, or there's actually one particular lounge that I think the springs are giving way, that it does feel a little bit funny. But and with my mouth, I think that's 90% better. There's still a little bit of healing to do. So, these healings were kind of quite exciting. I felt just sort of mind-boggling that, people keep talking about med beds, and I can't wait for these med beds to come out. But I think there's so much we can do for ourselves. And I think that's probably what we're meant to be doing, is exploring and working on the physical plane and the spiritual plane, and kind of working the two together. And so obviously, doing the good diet and all that kind of stuff, exercising and all those kind of things. So I also did another healing because I got a sore foot. I think I mentioned, you're finding out about all my ailments. I've got a sore foot, and I think that's from walking a lot barefoot on beaches for kilometers and kilometers. And so I asked, and I did, this was a daytime healing. So I recommend doing it at nighttime, but I did this at daytime, and I had my foot up and I could see this kind of almost something in between an eel and a dragon coming towards me, and it sort of went into my leg, and then its neck and head kind of went into my foot. The rest of the body turned up at the ankle, and I don't know if I sort of got a bit sleepy then, but then I had to do something, so I got up, and that just seemed to stay there. And there's a little bit of an improvement with my heel, not so much, not nearly as dramatic as the other two. So perhaps I'll try and do the foot again while I'm lying down, or perhaps it's something that's continually healing if I didn't see this kind of light dragon thing leave my leg. So maybe it's still healing. So anyway, so I thought it'd be great to share this technique, and obviously I always encourage people to tweak whatever I say for yourself to make it work. If you think something that might work even better for you, that's great. I think that's really important to do. So I thought, if you wanted to, for me, it works really well lying down, because I think your body really relaxes when you're lying down. So if you want to do it at nighttime, and I find where at nighttime I tend to see things in my mind's eye more clearly. It takes a bit more effort for me to see things during the daytime. I don't know why. Perhaps my mind's just getting ready to go into that sort of crossing over the dream and the waking world or whatever. So what was I going to say? So lying down is good, but if you can't, sitting up is fine. And I was going to say something else. Yeah, and just be aware of your language and how you say it. And I was thinking, I was calling in my oversoul. I don't really know what my oversoul is, but it just seemed to be a stepping stone down to my soul, my higher self. And so it just seemed to be a nice sort of stepping stone for me, psychologically, I suppose, and spiritually, to feel like there's this kind of like a branch of a connecting branch, I suppose, to the creative all that is. And so the aim for me eventually is to just, and I suppose I already am doing the healing myself, but to do it, I think sometimes you do these things so quickly that you automatically include all these aspects of yourself. I suppose that's what I would like to do, where you just automatically, it's included and the healing is pretty instantaneous. So I thought we'd do a healing, and that's what I was going to say. If you don't see things, that's fine. Perhaps just gently be aware of feelings in your body. That's another sort of sign things are shifting a little bit. And maybe sounds, if you hear sounds, or you get into a sort of dreamy state, just gently watch those images. Sometimes I find when I really focus on something, it kind of changes or shifts because your sort of very awake mind is sort of almost interfering at the process of what you're seeing in this other kind of veiling world of connecting somewhere else, if that makes any sense. So just sitting comfortably. And I also, sorry, I'm sitting on 2 chairs at the moment. I also just start off with the breath. And I just think this is a nice way to relax the body. So the light love breath. And I did that sort of at the start of the healing. And then once the healing, the visual things I saw started to take place, I was very interested in focusing on that. So I think I was just naturally in this quite sort of nice, gentle breath of love and light. Okay, so feet comfortably on the ground, or preferably lying somewhere comfortable, preferably your bed. Just be comfortable. Get as comfortable as you can. Okay, taking in some nice, deep, gentle belly breaths, full of love and light. And on the out breath, gently push this light love breath into all the cells of your body. And all the organs and cells of your body are getting so filled up with light and love that it starts almost breathing out through your skin, the light and love. And then you're in this circular, almost like in your toroidal field, your torus, what's it called? Your light circling in and out with your breath. Okay, Creator of all that is, my oversoul, my soul, my higher self, I would like assistance, help to heal. And you say what particular area of your body or your emotions you would like to heal. And then we say, I am grateful, almost as if it's already done, or as if it's already done. if you'd like to continue on, just pause there, and you can tune in a minute to what I thought I'd say. I did have something to say. I've forgotten what it is. I'm hoping that this will be beneficial to people, and if you do find it beneficial and have shifts, please let me know, because I'd love to know in the comments. That would be great. What was I going to say? I said to be grateful, didn't I? That's kind of important, as if it's done. I've also said, don't worry if you don't see things, because some people don't. I've actually, I have felt for most of my life that I have known I can't see a whole lot of stuff. Even when I was a kid, I really felt like I was missing out on colours. I think the way we see trees and grass is so limited. I don't think it's all green. I think it's probably all these different colours that we actually can't see. And so I've for a long time in my adult life, maybe the past 10 or 15 years or so, I get a bit muddled with time, but definitely around about 10 years, I've said kind of out loud, I would like to see, I know to see in other dimensions and other worlds and other levels of consciousness. There is the thing, probably years ago, there is the package that comes with that is seeing negative things. So I think now we're sort of shifting into this higher vibration. I think it's going to be easier for me personally to see things, because I suppose I didn't really want to see all the yucky stuff too much. I wanted to see the colours that I'm missing out on, the good kind of light beings and stuff. So I think I'm actually seeing more of that because I want to, or I'd like to, and I've requested to see that. I would like to see more of the spirit realm, or the veils lifted on other kind of interesting and highly evolved beings and dimensions around us, or me. So that's something I've asked for. So if you don't see any things, that's fine, because some people are a little bit scared of things. And I can remember, I don't know if I've mentioned this, living here, there used to be a funny energy walking up the stairs, and my whole childhood I was scared of the dark, and I sensed that that's because I couldn't see what were some of the entities that were there, and I sensed that they were kind of quite negative. And anyway, moving on, living back in this house, there was energy that sometimes when I'd walk, we've got lots of stairs to walk up to our house, and sometimes when I'd walk up to the house, I'd feel like, sometimes when you feel like you sense someone's behind you, almost like they're stomping up the stairs behind you, or almost chasing you or something. And I would sense that every now and then through lots of different, 3 different spiritual kind of healers and visionaries. They all said, without me telling them, the same thing, that someone had died there, and in particular they all mentioned an Indigenous person. And one of these people that I spoke about the energy with, he said it was a murder. So that's not very nice. So anyway, so I thought, well, I would like to kindly shift the energy. And so I just did a gentle ceremony, and I said, with what I'm doing, and really felt for this being, may this be the cause of all good qualities for this being, this ceremony. And it was like, I'll go into this sort of that subtle energy that you could just feel a tiny shift, but it's huge. So I could just feel a little almost like a little tweak, and that energy just changed. And I really felt like that being had shifted somewhere much more positive. So anyway, so that's was going back to saying, from that moment on, I really feel quite brave in the dark. I'm not scared of the dark at all. I just felt like when you're in a good space and you have good intentions, there's no need for fear. So that's it. So that was a bit of a long one, but I really hope that you enjoy and get some kind of benefit out of that healing, because I think I've got a few ailments. I'm going to be doing a few more of these. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you'd like to, please like, share and subscribe. And if you wanted to, sharing this could be lovely if you've got people who you think might enjoy it and benefit from it, because I think it's something that's really needed now, and it's available, and we should be utilizing these kind of things, and people putting their own tweaks and imprints on their personal healing journey. Okay, thanks so much. Bye.